Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Shelby Files. Gary Peterson, president of Shelby American, joins us, we hope. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Buick Envista, and Jeff has the Motor Minute. It's coming up in this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. David Ainsley, our chief engineer, is...
David Ainsley. Ainsley.
Is David around? No, he's not here.
No.
You know, he's getting the material. He's making a kissing booth for Granbury.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's going to be in the kissing booth?
I think he's running it himself. Yeah.
Is he?
He's going to run it by
hand. Are you
hand.
going to go kiss him?
No, he's going to run it by hand. He's fine.
He's used to running it by hand.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, then you'll have to. Yes?
He's got it. He understands.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same... We're all on the same page.
We are.
You know, I'm not on any page this morning, and I can't explain why, but, well, I can, because it's me.
Yes.
There you go, Robert Plant.
Robert Plant.
Turn the page.
Turn the page.
No, that's Bob Seger. Sorry.
All right.
I'm thinking Jimmy Page. Never mind. Welcome.
Well, you go ahead.
No, I was in the music thing
All
in
right.
my head.
Yeah?
Scott is here.
Yes.
Scott is
No,
here.
Gary's here. I'm sorry. I was looking the wrong page. I'm not on the same page as you.
Can we start over?
There's a lot of finger pointing going on here, and I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen. And apparently, Mr. Mars is down there, and
He's directing the show today.
he is. So you just go right ahead, Mr. Mars.
There you go.
Gary, it looks like Gary is here.
Gary, how you doing? I'm going to put you up.
Can you hear Gary?
I can hear
Gary.
Gary.
Hey, can you hear Gary?
I can hear Gary.
How you doing, Michael?
Hey, good morning. Glad you could join us.
Yeah, hey, it's great to be here. You know, wish you guys were here. It's a little damp, but we're having a good time anyway. And we've got the new GT350 wanted to talk to you guys about.
Wow. So where are you damp at? Where are you holding this?
Well, it's raining outside, so it's Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We've got on a nice day, we would typically have about 3,500 of our closest friends here.
Wow.
Actually, cars, and then there's at least 2 people per car, so lots of people here. So
Wonderful. That's
you
good
should
stuff.
come out here sometime.
So I understand that this is a Ford event, and you,
Yes.
sir, are the president of the Shelby American Car Club?
Yeah. So I'm president of Shelby American. So the
Shelby.
company
Okay,
that
not just the car
modifies
club.
cars. Not the club. It's actually the company that modifies the cars.
I see. Okay, so and if I'm not mistaken, isn't there a Shelby facility in Las Vegas?
That's correct.
Is
That's
that-
where my office is.
Oh my God, are you broke all the time?
Well, yeah, because I'm an enthusiast, so I keep looking out there, and we build cool stuff, and then I want it in my own garage.
You know, you can't go to the racetrack out there without going
It is.
past your shop out there.
Yeah, it's a difficult place to work because then you got to have toys. But I'll tell you what, it's been basically the last 3 decades have been pretty good.
So explain
We've
to
had a lot
everybody.
of fun with it.
Explain to everybody how Shelby American works with Ford Motor Company to make a Shelby.
Okay, so our company started 62, actually, so that'd be 63 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So we started for 63 years ago, and we took an AC chassis, and we modified that and put a Ford engine in it. That eventually evolved 60 years ago to where we had the first Shelby Mustang, the GT350. And so we took a regular Mustang and we did some changes with the hood, the air intake, wheels, tires, suspension, modifications, exhaust, made the engine breathe better so it had more horsepower. So there was a lot of those kind of things that we did in 65 to take the regular Mustang and just put it at the next level, right? You aspire to do more, you aspire for better performance. That car won national championships in B production. Okay, we continue to this day doing the same kinds of things. So when you look at a 2025 GT350, okay, we actually changed the entire hood. This is an entire new aluminum hood that we designed at Shelby with the deep draw vent there, which is actually very functional with the way the air moves and keeps the hood, the heat down under the hood, and also has airflow coming out over the top, which reduces lift at high speed. So when you start looking at this thing, it's also very, very functional. Underneath the hood is a 5-liter 32-valve double overhead cam V8, just like Ford builds. We add a 3-liter Whipple supercharger. This one makes 810 horsepower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the only problem that you have there is trying to keep the tires from not smoking.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot of the fun.
Well, there is that,
By
yes.
the way, that power still comes in really handy when you get past 60 miles an hour.
Yes, I can only imagine. And I would imagine you could probably light the tires at 60 miles an hour, depending on what gear you're
Yes,
in.
that is true.
Yeah. So
And I
it's,
didn't just read it on the internet.
He keeps
that's
smiling as he says that.
I know.
So one of the things that I gathered from all of this is the fact that, really the Shelby modifications that are done to today's car are a direct reflection of the first Shelby AC Cobra.
Yeah. So the formula is very similar.
Yes.
Okay. We take a, fairly regular or ordinary car and we make it spectacular, right? And we've got a team of people at Shelby American today that do those things. And it's really about the people. So if you guys have seen the movie Ford versus Ferrari,
Of course.
you'll realize that it's not just Carroll Shelby. It wasn't just Henry Ford that won those races. It was the people behind the scenes, the Ken Miles and the Phil Remingtons and the engineers at Ford and stuff that made that car what it was and made that car win. That's really what makes it happen. And that same formula is used today. So we go beyond that with just what's in the front, the unique front end with kind of a Shelby look, because there's a lot of people that modify Shelbys, but we want to make sure when you look at one, you'll know right away that it's a Shelby. So the signature look in the grille tells you it's a Shelby. The function tells you it's a Shelby. We'll go to the back of the car. And on the way back, we can look at things like in the interior. You look at the leather. Kind of a snakeskin look.
All right.
You look at the ID badge. Have them check out the ID badge, Scott. Okay, so that's got a unique Shelby serial number. That we keep in a registry with the unique Ford serial number, so that we can tell if somebody were to come here and steal all the parts off of this car and put it on their car, we would know that that's not a true Shelby. Okay, we keep those company records to protect people's investments. So if we keep going to the back, you see the optional wing, you see the ductile spoiler. All these are very functional items that also help keep the car planted on the ground. So you mentioned traction and the ability to hook up 810 horsepower. You need a little bit of speed. This isn't just for off the line, but when you get to some speed, then you get some airflow here, and that actually adds downforce to the back of the car. If you look, we've got the double dual exhaust. It's a Shelby exhaust tips. Shelby badge on the tail. Again, more of this in the front. So this car is clearly the most powerful, fastest GT350 we've ever produced.
Did that car actually go down the assembly line at Ford Motor Company at some point?
So at one point, this car did go down the Ford assembly line at Flat Rock, Michigan. However, after that happened, we take that off-site and modify it at our facility.
How do you select which one comes off the line to go to your site?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
How
Can you repeat the?
How do you select the car that comes off the line to go over to your facility?
Yeah, so what we do is, as a team, we look at the base car that we want, and we spec out the base car that we want. So it's got certain features already that'll make it easier for us to make modifications to it. So we have a spec that we basically say, we want this car. We give them that. We have a bailment vehicle account, and that we get those cars. That way they're very, repeated.
What happens to the parts that you take off that are stock car parts from Ford Motor Company? What happens to those parts that you take off and replace with Shelby stuff?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. We would love to be able to say we give them back to people that will own these cars, but then we have a warehouse full of parts. We've tried that, doesn't work. So we actually just resell those, and you really only get pennies on the dollar for those. But there's actually, if you go to eBay, which is where we sell most of that stuff through the Shelby account, you can buy virtually brand new parts for your car for a fraction of the cost.
Wow.
That's not that's
That is
sweet.
nice. Yeah.
Let me write that down.
Write that down. Make a note of that.
The last time I saw you, you were with Danny Coker on one of his episodes of his show.
Yeah, Danny's a great guy. He's right there in Las Vegas. He's very much a Shelby enthusiast. He's got a GT350 from 65.
Right.
He's had numerous Shelbys over the years as well, Shelby Series 1, and some more modern Shelby Mustangs too. And he's actually modified some of the cars that we've done with custom paint jobs and things like that. He's even had customers that would have him do something special for things that they want to personalize. And we built the engine on a 69 GT500 for Danny Coker and his team when they presented that Shelby back to the customer.
Yeah, that white
So
GT.
we've got that kind of connections.
The white GT350 was his father's, I believe.
Yeah, so that was cool. But the latest one we did was a red 69 that he did for a customer. So
Very cool.
We did the engine on that car.
How does a person go about buying a Shelby Mustang, a brand new one? Do I order it through you? Do I go to my Ford dealer? How does that work?
Well, I'd start out on the website and kind of look at Shelby.com. We've got build ones, so you can kind of mock it up the way you'd want it to be, and you'll get an idea what the specs are and the price will be and so forth. Then we have about 200 Ford dealers that Shelby American works with. So if you contact a Shelby representative, they can get you closest to a dealer in your area, and you can purchase the cars there. And if they don't have one, they can do a dealer trade and get you one.
Can you special order one?
You can spec and order one, but then you'd have to go to one of those 200 dealers. The Shelby American team can help direct you to who those dealers are, and you can spec it out with that person. And then, based on what you want, then you can say, oh, well, I like the white one with the blue stripes, or maybe you want one of a different color.
Does
this is
the
the red one with white stripes?
Yeah.
Right?
Does the latest 2025 version, do they all come with the same engine?
Yes, they're all 5-liter engines. Most of them come supercharged. If you're in a agreed state, and once you order it through the dealer, we can actually install the supercharger on site because we have a retail buyer. If you don't, then we have to deliver it naturally aspirated to the dealer. Then afterward, you put the supercharger on. But for most people in brown states, we put them on right at the factory.
Nice. What is the general price, if there is such a thing, for a
general price?
Yeah, for a
Is that what they're asking?
Yeah,
they start about with the supercharger. They're about $110,000 for a GT350 with 810 horsepower.
What is the 500? And what's the
There is no
difference?
500 currently.
Okay, there is no 500 currently, so all you can buy is a 350. Darn. Well, I'm thoroughly impressed, and the price is not that far out of this world that a regular guy couldn't go and afford to buy one and get financing for it.
Correct, and you can finance the car through Ford Motor Credit if that's something that you're interested in.
Does it come with a warranty?
Yeah, 3 years, 36,000 miles.
Wow. A factory hot rod, baby,
810 horsepower
with a warranty on it.
I'm in.
That's incredible. So, are you there demonstrating cars today? You got a static display. Tell me about the event that you're in.
Yeah, so Carlisle Events put this on every year in June, and this is in our case at this particular time, especially with the weather the way it is today, there is no demonstrations. So it's a static display. We have stuff here. We have stuff on the center stage. But last year, I know when we had a little better weather, there were over 3,500 Ford-based vehicles here. and more than half of those were Mustangs.
Wow.
Okay. We also had the largest club in attendance a couple years ago with Team Shelby, who brought over 440 Shelby Mustangs to this specific event. We won't have as many this year. A few rain clouds dampened that, but that doesn't mean we won't in the future. So
Gary,
we're excited for the people that we're
What's the website where everybody can go and get all the information on this?
So you can go to Shelby.com.
Shelby, SHELBY.com.
That's
Gary,
easy.
it is great to talk to you. Thanks so much for taking the time out to talk to us
Fantastic.
today. And let's stay in touch. You got something new coming up, give us a call.
Absolutely, Michael. You know we're working on the next one.
All right,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. Okay. Gary Pedersen with the Shelby American group up there at
What
the
a guy.
Carlisle Ford Nationals.
How'd you like to be him?
No kidding. Just ahead, a review of the 2025 Buick Envista, a little bit different than the Shelby. And we'll also have Jeff's Motor Minute after a quick break here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Hey, our last stop on the In Wheel Time Spring Tour happens June the 12th, and it is still spring officially, by the way. That's happening up in Granbury, Texas. We'll be hitting the road on Friday to our live broadcast up there, a 3-hour broadcast next Saturday at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. That live broadcast will air at a special time, 9 to noon.
Yep.
3 hours next Saturday, and we hope that you will join us. If you can't join us in Granbury, then we invite you to join us here on our broadcast. Time now for the Motor Minute.
Yep.
Jeff has that.
Here we go. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. represents Hulk Hogan's beer brand with an American flag themed car in the next race at Michigan. Now, there's a lot of celebrities. They have their tequila, they got their coffees and everything. This is a beer. The red, white, and blue will be traveling 400 miles this weekend in Michigan thanks to Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He'll be representing Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer on the number 47 this Sunday at Michigan International Speedway for the Firekeepers Casino 400, and the car will be themed in an American flag.
How patriotic.
Now, this is a quote from the Hulk.
Brother, Michigan knows how to throttle up, and it does real American beer. Hogan says in this statement, we're back on track in the fight, and there's no better time to crack one open and let it rip.
That's Hulk Hogan.
Thank you for explaining that, because we didn't quite get it.
The Hike Motorsports underscores American real beer theme committed to NASCAR. Hogan's brand was founded in June of 2024 and is available in 27 states.
Hogan beer.
Hulk Hogan, brother.
Wonder who actually brews it.
I don't know, but I pity the fool.
Oh, that's
No,
the other
that
guy.
was-
That was the other guy. Sorry.
Wouldn't that be Mr. T?
That
or
would be
something?
Mr. T.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
when you
he's
said the Hulk earlier, I was thinking about the big green guy. I was going, what does he sound
Well,
like?
Not the Hulk.
The Hulk. Hogan. That's right, brother.
Thank you,
Oh,
Jeff,
my
for
God.
that entertaining piece of
all right.
information.
Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Yeah. Today's average marketed price of a vehicle, average, as of yesterday, $50,157.
Oh, man.
$50,000 for average price of a car. So now, with that in mind, here's a review of the 2025 Buick Envista.
Can't wait.
It is built in the final assembly location at Byupyong, Korea. This is a Korean vehicle, believe it or not. Available trim levels: Preferred, Sport Touring, and Avenir. I got to drive the Avenir, top of the line. This is a small, what they consider a small station wagon. We'd like to consider it more of a SUV, but they still have a station wagon designation for whatever reason. I don't get all that.
That's your government.
I guess so. Seats 5. It's a small SUV. All new for 2023. Ours was a 25 model. Simple shark nose front fascia is sleek, modern, and yet aggressive looking. Fastback rear hatch adds to its wind-cheating look. Sculpted sides with a sharp lower body crease draws your eyes down there to the big 19-inch Avenir wheels. What I liked about it? Everything. Sporty, high zoot looks. What could use improvement? Beats me. I don't know. I love this thing. Interior highlights: 2 displays in one attractive, well-vetted display draws your eye to that on the top of the dash. HVAC controls and center vent below the touch screen. Nice little touch there. Comfortable seating made with upscale materials. Yes, believe it or not, legroom for back seat passengers. Cargo room is small with the rear seat up. Obviously, with the rear seat down, plenty of room for most people. What I liked about it, the overall high marks for use of such a small space. What could use improvement? Anything that raises the price is an absolute no-no, and I'll tell you about that coming up here in just a second. The engine, questionable. 1.2-liter itty-bitty, teeny-weeny turbocharged 3-cylinder. Horsepower, 137 whopping horsepower with 162 pound-feet of torque through a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's front-wheel drive only. Miles per gallon. Score some points here. 28 miles per gallon in the city. Highway of 32 for a combined of 30. I got 30.7 over 320.4 miles. What I liked about it? Fuel economy. What could use improvement? At times, the engine and transmission don't like to dance together nicely. And I say that because if you're trying to squirt across an intersection or, like a two-way boulevard and you've got to get to the middle, it could take a second or two, depending how quick you are from the brake to the accelerator pedal. And if there's any movement in the car, it doesn't quite understand it. If you start from a dead stop, not a problem. But you know how you kind of creep just a little bit? Don't do that.
No creeping.
No creeping. And you know all about creeping.
You get in trouble with that.
A white van.
But other than that, I am an aggressive 2-foot driver in an automatic transmission, and I will readily admit to that. So part of the problem there is me. Well, most of the problem is me. Ride and handling, sporty. What could use any improvement? Well, a little more Buick compliance would be okay with me because it's sporty. It's got a sporty ride to it. And, being old school that I am, I'm used to a more compliant ride. But it's not. It's a today's style ride. Base trim price, $28,600. Let me repeat that. Base trim price, that's the Avenir, $28,600. Price is tested $30,690. Remember I told you what today's average price of a vehicle is, $50,000? If you want to get into one of these, the base model price, drum roll, $22,900.
Howdy doody.
Yeah. They've hit the sweet spot as far as I'm concerned. And I think that this would be a great ride for a newer family. Just got married, got a baby perhaps, and you need a little bit more room. This is something you definitely want to consider. Now, its cousin is the Chevy Trax.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which I think is bigger.
And it starts at $20,500.
I like the little Trax. I don't think it's got as much
Flair.
as the Buick by any means.
I agree.
But,
Well, Chevy branded, yeah. They're a little
It's
bit.
the same vehicle, basically, just a little bit different body
Cool.
style. So that's 25,000. I'm sorry, 20,500. Mazda CX-30 is a competitor. It starts at 24,995, and the VW Taos is also a competitor, and it's the same starting price as the Mazda CX-30 at 24,995.
Taos, I saw one the other day. That's a pretty good looking little vehicle.
It is. It is. It's a Volkswagen,
Yeah.
but you know what? If I had my choice, I'd buy that Buick.
Yeah, I would
yeah,
too. You know,
particularly for that price.
and that review is so good. Can you do it again? Because it's
yeah. Wait till we get to your car. Oh, I think I've already reviewed.
we're
your
going to
car.
need a 4-hour show for that.
Yeah. I really think that it's worth considering if you're looking for a small SUV. It's screwed together really well.
The SUV moniker doesn't do any. Mine is more of an SUV because I've got the Envision, which is the step. It's the second. Yeah, it's a step up.
Yeah,
from
it's a little bit bigger
Right,
than this one.
right.
The Invista.
Yeah, this would be more like maybe a hatchback.
yeah,
size.
Yeah.
Well, and
I
it's
would
got
agree
that
with
fastback rear hatch.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why they come up with the station wagon designation for it. I'm going, a station wagon?
No.
I don't believe I've driven a station wagon in a long time. Until this is called a
Well,
station wagon.
I know, but
I'd
that's what
agree
I'm
with
saying.
you.
So you're trying to convince somebody like my wife that this would be a car you'd want to drive. And the station wagon, it's gone.
Yeah.
But it's a hot hatchback. Well, now maybe.
It's like the old Mazda 3,
SUV.
the wagon Mazda 3 hatchback. Yeah.
Do they make any hot hatches anymore?
Nah, I think the Volkswagen Golf is about gone. I think it was about the last one. I think.
Well, that's now the
Well,
GTI.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to
GTI,
rename
you're
it.
right.
And the only thing with the GTI is that they're not making a manual transmission in that anymore. You have to buy the automatic.
And I noticed on the pictures that you're showing, it had the shifter on the console between the seats, whereas mine is up on the stick, the push button up on the stick,
Yeah.
which is a big difference. So
So you have a stick.
it's on the turn signal area. Well, it's the shifter.
Right.
It's like a 3 on the tree. But it's push button.
Right. Yeah. You still got
That great big huge Suburban that I've got out there that's the size of a
saw
football
that.
field.
Yeah.
That thing is so big, I can't believe it. But it's got the same kind of shifter
Yeah.
that you're referring to.
Well, Cadillac has that too. Well,
And it-
Cadillac
and
had the thing before where you
it's
had
fine.
on the ball on the.
Yeah, no. You know, my idea of the shifter, unless it's a real sports car, you don't need the paddle shifters
No.
in it.
No.
Although the Suburban's got paddle shifters in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Mine does too. And
Is it four-wheel drive?
That one? I don't recall. Probably. It's the high country, so it's loaded up with everything.
I bet you that's why.
You got the paddle shifters, plus and minus, and then underneath that, on the left side is the radio changing
Correct.
channel, and then you have
Same.
the volume. So if you miss the volume, you're in fifth gear, dropping down to the sixth. I've done that a couple of times. Whoa, crazy.
Well,
Good stuff.
You know, this is a great buy in my opinion. And if you're out looking for a small SUV, check it out, the Buick Invista.
Buick.
That's my review. Okay. Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back right after this quick break. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, your place for all things automotive. Coming up, we learn about Adventure Genie. Who? What's her name?
What?
Adventure Genie. Later, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History. And I'll get you caught up on the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. David Ainsley's got the day off, but boy, next week at this time, he'll be working.
Busy.
He'll be sweating. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us for our Saturday morning coffee clutch, extravaganza, whatever you want to call it. Well, don't call it that. I know it was. No, not that. Whatever was on your mind. I know who you are.
My mind's blank.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's check in with Scott Lengal. Scott, am I pronouncing your last name right?
Lengal, I answer to anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Pleasure to be here.
Scott,
Steve.
tell us what is Adventure Genie?
Yeah. Adventure Genie is an all-in-one AI-based trip planning tool that's targeted to the RVer. And the RVer or the camper is our core audience, but it really works quite well for anyone that's just taking a road trip in a car or a truck or a bicycle or a motorcycle or anything else. But it is finely tuned to the RVer and the camper.
And what makes it tuned to the RVer as opposed to a guy that's going to go cross-country in his Volkswagen Bug?
Yep, that's a great question. Mostly because we have a very large campground database. So what we do, and anybody really could stay at a campground, especially a lot of KOAs and other types of campgrounds these days, they have an ability to stay in a tent camp or a cabin. So it really can work for you even if you're not towing something or driving a bus. But with our campground database, what we do is we finely tune the selections or the recommendations of places to stay based on your travel needs. So we know what you're driving. We know what level of amenities you're looking for. We know whether you need a dog park or not, or you want it to be kid-friendly, and the type of hookups you need 50 amp or 30 amp, and we make really finely tuned recommendations. So it's kind of as easy as saying, hey, I'd like to take a 6-week trip from South Carolina to the national parks of Utah, and we will figure out what national parks are in Utah, like the Big Five, and what order you should take them, and how long you should stay at each one, and what a great campground targeted to you is, again, because we know what you're looking for and what you like, and stay away from the things that you don't like. And we also know that you like to go hiking, biking, and eat local barbecue and drink beer, and we will make recommendations for breweries and barbecue joints and good hikes and biking trails along the way.
How much does this service cost?
It's $50 a year, but right now we're running a sale for $39.99, which is 20% off, and we'll be running that for probably the rest of the month. So, and that's just an annual fee. And you think about it, you go to a campground or you're on the road and $30, $40, $50, you're doing that without batting an eye. And we give you a whole year worth of trip planning, all the artificial intelligence built in. You could save unlimited number of trips. And so we give you everything. We also allow you, even if you don't have an RV or a camper today, we have integration with RV Share, which is the world's first and largest RV rental company. So you could book your RV directly from Adventure Genie. And we have relationships with campground aggregators like Camp Spot Tonight, which will allow you to book your campground, so you never have to leave the tool. And it's an all-in-one, all-encompassing tool.
So Scott, let me ask you this. Say I'm a member and I've got my $50 in and I'm planning to plan a trip, and I contact you and I say, you know what, Scott, I want to leave August 15th and I want to do that trip to Idaho, the campgrounds and all the things out there. How long does it take to prepare? I give you a date and you get working on it and you get back with me when? Does it take a week to do all that? Does it take a couple of days? How long does it take to get that itinerary from you?
Oh, that's a great question. And I'm going to apologize in advance that for some reason the technical guy is having a little bit of technical difficulty with the audio here. But I think I got the question. Like, how long does it take to build out that trip?
Right.
That is the beauty of Adventure Genie. What used to take hours, days, literally even weeks, because you'd be going to 2, 3, 4, 5, or 10 different tools to do it. Now with AI and in one tool, literally we do it in seconds, maybe minutes. So I could say take that 6-week trip cross country. Here's a cool one that I like to use. Take a trip from Virginia down to Key West, stopping at the best beach towns and find the best local places to eat seafood and find campgrounds for me. The amount of research that you would use with Google and other campground finders literally would take easily hours, but typically days, because you don't have enough time or patience to do it all in one sitting. Within seconds, we will provide you with that full itinerary.
So if I do that, sorry, Mike, if I do that, can I read reviews of other folks that have gone on trips in a particular area I want to go on? Is there something that, well, maybe I don't want to do that, and somebody said on a review it was great or it was not so great? So is that available as well?
Yeah, so we can, a lot of it is crowdsourced, and you can share trips with your friends, and we can publish trips that others have taken, including folks you might follow, influencers, so to speak.
Oh, God.
And you kind of trust what they've done. Like there's a guy well known in our community that we're working with. His name is Traveling Robert. And Traveling Robert goes on these incredible cross-country journeys, and he puts out these videos that are sometimes hours in length. And now he can say, you like this trip? Take this trip in Adventure Genie with a single link, and we'll populate it into your trip, and you could follow along, getting rid of the stuff you don't like, adding things that he may not have done in his trip.
I want to go back to the beach trip, if you don't mind, for just a second. And the fact that, I want to hit all these beaches along the East Coast over there. Does it drill it down to, I want to take a shower? Does it have restroom facilities? Are there places to eat along the way? Do they offer food trucks or something? That kind of thing?
Anything and everything. If you want to rough it, we'll learn that. The more you use the tool, we'll know that that's the type of camping you like to do, and we'll make sure that there are facilities there for you that are comfortable for you. If you're self-contained, it's not so important. So we won't highlight that as much. If we knew that you want to stop at the best food truck locations, we'd automatically include that in your itinerary, including a link to them so that you can go and do more research on your own. And here's the coolest feature, one of the coolest features that we just added. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a company called Open Roads. Open Roads is a discount fuel aggregator. So basically, they work with, it's like kind of a fleet management kind of system. And what they do is they buy fuel subscriptions in bulk from the truck stops, the big diesel operated Love's and TA and things like that. And what they do is they offer their users 30, 40, 50 cents a gallon discount on diesel. And if you're driving a big RV with 100, 150 or more gallon fuel capacity, that's a big difference at 30, 40, 50 cents discount. We have a partnership with them, so that's automatically built into Adventure Genie. As you're planning your trip, you can make sure you're stopping at those Open Roads affiliated locations. We're actually at a truck stop literally right now because we're on our way to Lewisburg, West Virginia for a big Newmar rally for this week. And we pulled over at a truck stop to do this. But huge savings along the way. That in and of itself, honestly, just a couple of days ago, we fueled up our coach and we saved $50 using the Open Roads integration. There's your $50 for Adventure Genie right there.
Hey, Scott, let me ask you, let's go back to Key West. I don't have a lot of time. I can't talk my wife into flying into the Key West airport, and I don't want to make that 16-hour drive from where we are in Texas. Can I fly into Fort Lauderdale, make arrangements to rent an RV there to drive down to Key West and back?
100%. Yep. So with our integration with RV Share, which is an RV rental company, it's kind of like an Airbnb where folks that own RVs, they put them into the system. When they're not using it, you could rent it through this aggregator known as RV Share. And that's a great use case. Fly to Fort Lauderdale. You start your trip. So basically in Adventure Genie, you'd be saying, I'm taking a trip from Fort Lauderdale to Key West. And when you get to Fort Lauderdale, you say, find me an RV. You enter your criteria, how many people you want it to be able to sleep. By the way, usually 2 is the most comfortable if you haven't been RVing. Now, drink, if you're having folks over for drinks, maybe 6 is cool. That's the old adage: 6 for drinks, 4 for dinner, and 2 for sleeping. But you would put in your criteria, and you'd get a list of the inventory, and right through Adventure Genie, you can book your RV in Fort Lauderdale. We can show the stops along the way. You might want to stop at Marathon. There's some great campgrounds in Marathon, Florida, which is about the halfway point from Fort Lauderdale to Key West. And again, all in one, you could book your RV. You could book your campgrounds. You'll find all the cool places to go fishing and deep sea fishing and the local spots to get your stone crab claws. Yep, all from within the
I was waiting for you to say, yeah, well, you can stop there and get your crabs. I mean, crab claws. Yeah, I got that.
That's why there's only 2 for sleeping.
There's only 2 for sleeping. That's why we've got it limited there. Well, yeah, I'm thrilled at learning all of this. My only hesitation is I don't have a lot of self-confidence in backing an RV into an RV spot. So if I get there to the campground, can I tell the campground operator, hey, can you help me back the thing in?
Better than that. I've got a better solution for you. RV Share, they will do it for you. They will either deliver an RV to a campground, and in some campgrounds, they have RVs that are permanently parked there. So all you got to do is drive up. So in that scenario, you might not fly. Well, you might still fly into Fort Lauderdale and then just drive a car out to Key West. And with RV Share, they could have an RV parked either full time in that campground, or they would have it delivered there.
Like at Marathon, like you were talking about halfway down.
Yeah.
So I can just imagine it's the Lingells RV stop all across America, and you would have your own driver for your coach, and you would be like a celebrity. Oh, here comes Scott and his family. Get out of the way because this guy's got it down.
No, they'd say about
Here
you.
we go. It's the rock star bus.
Hey, Scott, we got one of our listeners that's watching. Candace is wanting to know if it's like if two women wanted to take a trip, is there something that they can put in criteria as far as like safety concerns?
Stay away from Don Armstrong.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. So when you configure one time only, you will tell us what type of camper or RV or coach or rig or whatever term you want to use you're driving. And then we will provide RV safe routing instructions to make sure you're not going under low bridges or going through tunnels that you may or may not fit. And true story, like literally just 30 minutes ago, we were going through the tolls of West Virginia, and you can't fit an RV in every single toll lane. You have to go all the way over to the right. So we would make sure that you're safely, taking a route that's going to accommodate you and you're not going to get into trouble.
Very good. So you're in your RV.
We are.
I just
in the
realized,
RV right now.
looking
We
at
just
behind
pulled
you.
over. We have, here's something cool. We have Starlink, good old Starlink, sitting on the roof. And so we have full-time internet. Even while we're driving at 60, 70 miles an hour, we're still getting incredible, like 100, 150 megabit a second streamed into the coach. So, yeah, we're full-time connected.
Well, Scott, this is absolutely fascinating. Is it adventuregenie.com?
It is adventuregenie.com, and we have that sale running right now. And yeah, we thanks for seeing you guys.
And hey, and the next time you're stopping through the Houston area, be sure and stop. Give us a call, and we'll climb on the rig, and we'll hitch a ride with you out to Las Vegas or wherever you want to go. We'll just go with you.
Sounds great. We'd love to have you, at least for drinks.
Absolutely. There you go.
There's
We
only
can
two
do
for
that.
sleeping.
God bless. Scott, thanks so much. We appreciate you. AdventureGenie.com. Talk to you soon.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks.
Sounds great. Have a great day,
You
guys.
too. Just ahead, Jeff has the racing calendar. Mars has This Week in Auto History. And I'll bring you this week's automotive news headlines. All coming up on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We are back in a flash.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The Enwell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the Enwell Time Car Talk Show.
Okay. Welcome back to In Wheel Time. Looking forward to seeing you at the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run in Granbury next weekend, next Saturday, June the 12th. We will be there broadcasting our show with a bonus hour beginning at 9 o'clock, so 9 to noon next Saturday. We hope you'll tune in.
You
All
bet.
right, time now for the racing calendar, sponsored by Texas Muscle Car Club Challenge. Here's Jeffrey.
Thank you for that. We've got IMSA is off this week. They're going to come back on the 22nd of June for the 6 hours at the Glen and Watkins Glen. That's going to be on Peacock. NHRA, I watched a little bit of the live broadcast, which was tape delayed from Thunder Valley Nationals and Bristol Dragway. They actually, I saw with J.R. Todd, they went off the in the funny car. They launched off the starting line, and by the time they got 1,000 feet, it was pouring rain. It was sunny on the starting line. It was pouring rain on the finish line.
Weird.
It was really weird. So, but there's a big talk about that. You got Indy. Indy is Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway in Madison, Illinois. It's a 260 lapper. NASCAR is about my page here. NASCAR is in Michigan, like we talked about, and then you got Hulk Hogan. That's right, brother. He's going to be there with his car, his beer. They're going to be drinking beer in the car. Don't be drinking and driving. You got Craftsman Truck today at Michigan. You got the big boys tomorrow at Michigan. Formula One is going June 15th, so it's next weekend at the Canadian Grand Prix. So there you go.
What kind of ugliness is going on with IndyCar and Roger Penske and all that?
Well, there's a lot of controversy. Not just IndyCar, but a lot of it's NASCAR too.
Well, I know, but I'm focusing in on IndyCar with Roger. Some people are calling for his resignation for the head of IndyCar because he's head of that, head of the Indy Speedway. He's got his own race car team.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're calling him to step aside and let other people. Conflict of interest is what they're saying.
Well, the man had a vision. He had the money to do it. He's buying it all up, and why not? He could do that. So if anybody's got a problem with it, buy him out.
Well, if he's being successful.
Exactly.
Listen,
too successful.
I've always been impressed by Roger Penske. I think that he's a straight-up guy. I think that he's got some people working for him that are total dummies. But other than that,
Kinda goes
and
with
I don't
the
think that they're doing it maliciously for the most part. I think that they're doing it because they didn't keep up with what it's supposed to be, what the rules say, and they made a mistake.
Well, they're trying to change the rules to fit their own agendas.
Yeah, there's
what it
that
is.
too, yeah.
That's all it is. So, anyways, and still enjoy racing. It's just a matter of what you want to look at.
All right, Mr. Mars, this week in auto history, we like that.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Got lots of things
There was a
going on.
pause there that I'm thinking, what in the world?
Well,
have I done something wrong?
No, I was checking a message over here and making sure Candace got her answer from Scott. So
Okay.
Oh, hold on one second. I jumped ahead. I apologize for that. Go ahead, Mike.
You're fine. You're right. So anyway, this week in auto history. So one of the things that happened this week in 2009 is when General Motors filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, this was one of the largest industrial failures in U.S. history. Massive debt, declining sales, general global financial crisis.
And Mary Barra's salary.
Well, no, she wasn't there yet. But GM got a $50 billion federal buyout. Now, part of the restructuring on the graph that we've got here, a lot
A
of things
bailout,
happened.
not a buyout.
Oh, did I say buyout?
Yeah, it's
My
okay.
bad.
We got
It's
it.
a bailout. Part of the restructuring, so this is where Pontiac went away, the Saturn went away, Hummer went away. They did some consolidation of brands as part of that restructuring from before and then after, and reduced their brand holdings considerably. So, also this week in 2012.
Daewoo. Boy, now there's a brand that I want to go buy.
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go buy some Daewoos.
Yeah, on a handshake.
In 2012, the LeMay America's Car Museum opened. Now, this is up in Tacoma, Washington, and it's showcasing one of the largest collections of automobiles that was started by a private collector. 165,000 square foot facility. It is in Tacoma, and it's got 300 vehicles in it. Started
all
out
Mustangs.
as LeMay's, and he opened it to kind of show it off, but now they've got rotating exhibits. It's a great place. I actually got to see part of that with Harold Gunn, and I took a little detour.
You and Harold?
Yeah, we were driving and said, hey, look where we are. Let's go see this. Anyway, it was great. If you ever get up close to it, check it out.
Where is it?
In
Tacoma,
Tacoma,
Washington.
Washington.
Tacoma. It's Washington.
Also in 1896, Henry Ford was testing his first vehicle. Now, this was a quadricycle in Detroit, and it's self-propelled quadricycle through the streets. It was powered by a 2-cylinder engine, lightweight, 4-wheel machine. This was his first vehicle, and this is kind of what got him started off into the automotive industry. Also, this
Is that
week-
Henry driving it?
Yes.
Tub it out.
Huh. Well, it looks like he's got a little bit more weight there than he did when he died.
Well, he's a little earlier. He hadn't starved yet. So in 1909, the first event at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Now, it was not an Indianapolis 500 type race.
That's
It
right.
was not. It was actually a gas-filled balloon race. And happened on a Saturday more than 2 months before the oval was actually completed. Had 40,000 people attended this. 9 balloons lifted off for racing, and a balloon by the name of Universal City won the race, landing 382 miles away after the wind got a hold of it. Also this week, in 1925, the Chrysler Corporation was founded. Walter Chrysler established the Chrysler Corporation by transforming the Maxwell Motor Company, and he took it and turned it into a major automobile company. Chrysler is where it headed. Now, the new corporation brought in new vehicles, advanced engineering, and of course, the brought in the high compression engine. And so that's where they got into the performance and started out, and they went out and bought Dodge, DeSoto, and Plymouth to form the whole corporation.
Got a Hemi in it.
Got a Hemi in it again. So in 1932,
I like the knickers he's wearing.
yes, buddy, the U.S. government enacted a federal gasoline tax of 1 cent per gallon as part of the Revenue Act of 1932. Now, this is the first federal gasoline tax, and it was aimed to generate funds during the Great Depression. It was going to be a temporary tax, but it laid the groundwork for future highway funding. No tax that's ever been implemented by the government's ever been taken out. So that was this week in automotive history.
Well, you
don't
were
pay
talking about Mr. Chrysler.
Yes, Walter.
Chrysler building the 77-story Art Deco skyscraper in Manhattan, commissioned by automotive icon Walter P. Chrysler. has hit the market amid reports that its interior is crumbling. The building was completed in 1930. So talk about Mr. Narcissist. I'm going to build a building and I'm going to name it after me.
Darn tootin'.
Has been the subject of a contentious court battle between its most recent operator and Cooper Union, a private college that owns the land it sits on. The effort to find a buyer coincides with the 100th anniversary of Chrysler, which was founded in June of 25. Walter called the New York landmark, which held the title of the world's tallest building for 339 big days, a monument to me.
Woohoo.
Narcissist. It features gargoyles inspired by Plymouth hood ornaments and accents modeled after Chrysler radiator caps, according to Architectural Digest. But its condition is deteriorating. Several elevators have been out of service recently. According to court records, and tenants have complained of mice and dirty drinking water, according to Cranes New York, an affiliate of Automotive News.
So they're serving dirty drinking water to the mice?
Yes, they are.
Apparently so. Ram is bringing its vaunted Hemi engine back as an option on the 1500 pickup this summer after dropping it for the 2025 model year. The 5.7-liter V8 Hemi with mild hybrid e-torque technology will be offered on the 2026 Ram 1500 Tradesman, Bighorn, Express, Warlock, Laramie, Rebel, Limited, and Longhorn trims. The engine, available as a $1,200 upgrade, delivers 395 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. Ram axed the Hemi in the 1500 when the refreshed version debuted last year, instead of switching to a family of twin turbocharged inline six-cylinder engines called the Hurricane. But Ram CEO Tim Kuniskis, thank you God, made the Hemi's return a priority when he came back to the brand in December after Stellantis CEO Carl Tavares resigned. He didn't resign. He got fired. There's a mud dauber in here. Flying
The
again.
NHRA, they had the Power Wagon as a tow vehicle yesterday. It was a pretty cool looking vehicle. Had him there.
Automakers canceling large numbers of future electric vehicle programs, and that will grow the number of hybrid offerings over the next 4 years, while new vehicle launches slow dramatically because of industry uncertainty. Meanwhile, dealers have an opportunity to perhaps double their most profitable revenue streams because of untapped connectivity capacity, according to a widely watched annual industry report from Bank of America. This news from Automotive News. Car Wars, it's called. Car Wars is an annual study of the automotive product pipeline and the resulting impact on both car makers and car retailers. I'm telling you this because it's going to have a direct reflection on when you go buy a car or go to a dealership. This year's study covers the next 4 years, model years 2026 through 2029, and shows that the tumult caused by slowing EV adoption rates, tariffs, and regulatory hurdles is causing automakers to retrench into their traditional strengths. According to John Murphy, he's the senior automotive analyst with Bank of America Securities. He says, we expect 159 models to be launched over the next 4 years. That's a dramatic decline from above 200 last year, and really is an indication of a lot of what's going on with automakers and EV investments. There's that. And I think that's all I'm going to get to right now. Oh, I did want to tell you about the ship carrying 3,000 cars to Mexico.
All right.
Abandoned in the Pacific Ocean after catching fire on Tuesday. Smoke was first seen coming from a deck on the Morning Midas that was carrying electric vehicles, according to the ship's manager, Zodiac Maritime. He said in a statement, it is about 800 EVs on board. It is not clear what brand of vehicles the ship was carrying. Of course, they're not going to tell you that. The crew initiated firefighting procedures, but the blaze could not be brought under control. The U.S. Coast Guard evacuated all 22 crew members, transferring them to a nearby merchant ship. Coast Guard said earlier it was sending air crews and a vessel toward the ship where the crew had been actively fighting the blaze.
Wow, get some smoking hot deals there.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, that thing's going right down to the floor of the Pacific Ocean, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I wonder where the insurance is.
Hey, we'd love to hear
That's why
from
it's
you.
abandoned.
Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back right after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Will Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Will Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Mike Mueller, the complete book of Corvettes, 5th edition. So does that mean that Corvette 1st edition, 2nd edition, 3rd edition, 4th edition, are they incomplete books now? I guess they would be, because this would take the place, since this is the 5th edition.
Maybe it just TV serial series thing.
Building up to the 5th
well, I just
edition.
wanted to make straight. Well, we'll let him figure that out for us.
He can,
Jeff, pardon me?
he can explain it to us.
All right. Jeff is going to bring us some car culture and racing superstitions. Mr. Mars has his feature about the Twisted Sisters in driving destinations for the family. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley, sleeping in, getting ready for next weekend's big remote in Granbury, Texas. I'm Don Armstrong. Thank you so much. Glad you could join us on this Saturday for our live show. All right, I understand that Mike Mueller has joined us now. He's on the phone. I guess we couldn't get a video signal, or he's still in his jammies or something. But Mike, good morning.
Right back at you.
Well, we're not in our jammies. Well,
I'm not either, because I'm butt naked.
Oh,
no.
God.
Oh, Don, he's following your trend.
How would you know that, Mike?
I'm going to need a cigarette.
Are you? Okay. So, Mike, we have now the complete book of Corvette 5th edition, and it's revised and updated and includes all C8 models, and it just so happens
That is a nice book.
that I have that book right there. Look at that thing. It weighs 15 pounds.
At least.
And every page has got a picture on it. And if you're looking for a gift for Dad for Father's Day,
awesome.
This is it. Whether you're a Corvette owner or not,
Or
doesn't make
wannabe.
any
Well,
difference.
even if you miss Father's Day, there's a birthdays, I'm sure, and then there's Christmas. This book has detail in it. That's why it's the 5th. Look at that.
The heavy paper and all that. Look at that. Ooh la la. I'm telling you, this is a nice book.
Did you pull up a picture of your car? Is that what you did?
I did not.
look at my car.
No, I just thumbed through it. But, I mean, even the cover. Well, congratulations, Mike. Apparently you've done quite well with these kind of books, and I got a feeling you're going to do great service to all of us Corvetters in years to come.
Yes, and by the way, I drew all those pictures myself.
Liar.
Great artwork.
Yeah, I'll say. Well, I'll tell you, and the front page here with the 63 split window, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Nice.
And I know from those people that have written books and done books, this, sir, this is a love for what you do, because you don't turn out books like this on a whim on one weekend.
And there's 300 plus, how many? 352 pages, I
Yeah,
believe?
352. I mean, it's massive. I'm looking at a nice picture of you in the back here.
Oh, that's right.
And it has you have a very nice shirt on and everything.
Yes. And I built that model behind me there, too, that monogram 65 Corvette up there, and I'm a modeler, by the way.
Yeah, well,
See,
apparently. You do lots of things apparently, and you really turn out a nice book. How long has the book been out?
What's funny is the author is always the last to know. I'm sitting here looking at my copy.
Yeah.
It showed the advanced copy showed up here a couple of weeks ago, and it's already out being reviewed. And I'm still looking for my bulk copies. I think they forgot about me, except for the checks.
I was going to say, there's that. Well, the photography in this book is absolutely stunning.
It's
beautiful. Did you do the photography, a lot of this photography yourself?
A lot of it. Back in the old days, I used to do a lot of it. Of course, I used to be active far more than I am now. And so I'd go out and get the new car. GM would send me the new cars for photography, and I'd go out and find the vintage cars. In the recent years, I've only shot a few, and GM has sent me most of the photography. And I've got a good working relationship with the archivist people there who are just... It's great having friends in high places. And,
so when you write about something in the book that you don't have a photograph for, or something to display or image or whatever the case may be, you can pick up the phone, call them, say, I need an image of this. Could you send me a couple?
Well, it's kind of like that, except it's more like a demand. I say, get me this image right now.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
It's a really good system nowadays. Back in this book was first contracted 20 years ago.
Wow.
That was the quote unquote first edition that ended with the 06 model, I'm pretty sure. And these updates have happened as, 4 or 5 model years have piled up. And back in the day, I'd go to Detroit and literally sit there at a computer screen and go through thousands of images and pick them myself. And it no longer works that way. It's a lot easier now. And I can just simply log into their system, their database, and say, pick them. I just pick them out, and they send them to me.
I'm just trying to understand how it works. Do you write the book or write the chapter and then search for the pictures, or do you do it both ways, where you look at the picture and saying, I need to put that in the book, and then you write something about the picture?
Yes and yes, or yes and yeah, both ways. You're right.
Okay, yeah.
Mostly, I'll write the text. And of course, I'll jot down a plan of the specific newsworthy models or variations or parts or components, and then I'll go searching to see if they have it. Now, what's kind of sad is in the old days, the photo base, they had everything down to nuts and bolts. So if I wanted a picture of a brake rotor, I could even ask for that. It's not so much nowadays. Now, on these super duper cars like the ZR1, they'll photograph all the hot parts, and those will be available. But it's just it's more about the beauty shots now than it was in the past. And I tend to love it all, from bolts, from soups to nuts.
Sure.
Soup to nuts.
Yeah. Now, when, for instance, like the Z06 that just came out, is that something that you look at a stock portfolio of pictures for the Z06, or do you ever come up with, say,
yes,
I really need a picture of, say, for instance, a brake rotor, a brake caliper, something like that, and they'll go out and shoot it for you?
Well, no. Generally, nowadays, if they have it on file, I'll get it, and if not, I won't get it. And in this book, I'd have to go look. I do a lot of snooping on the internet and looked at all the other reporters like me out there, and sometimes I'll see a guy who'll shoot it for some web magazine, a real interesting technical shot, and I'll search him out or search the magazine out and say, hey, can I get permission to use this? That happened a couple times. I was flipping to the page to see, like on the E-Ray, there's shots of the cooling system for the electric motor and the electric motor itself in a cutaway, and those didn't come from GM. I sourced them from a third party, and fortunately, I still have a few friends left out there who talk to me.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it goes. I've been at this for 35 years, and I've knocked on enough doors, and I learned long ago just to beat on doors if you have to.
Are you a writer by trade?
I'm a journalism graduate, University of Illinois, 1983. Go Illini!
Yeah,
And
that's the Fighting
yeah.
Illini, isn't it?
yes,
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, was going to be a sports writer until I found out that every other guy in journalism school was going to be a sports writer too. And I started writing about things that I loved and knew about, and cars were one. I would have still killed to have written about baseball, but which I did a little of. But cars took over, and I had a couple of jobs for publishers in the automotive publishing business, and then I went freelance. Nearly 30 years ago, stopped working for people, and these books and all the other stuff that's what I've done for all these years.
Well, congratulations, because it is not an easy thing to make a living being a writer of any kind, and much less being able to put it into print with all of the pictures and make this a $60 tabletop book that anybody would be proud to have on their table.
Yeah, well, what's amazing is it still amazes me that a bad writer like me could do this. and I got to tell you, I'm technically a photojournalist, but I wasn't a photographer. I always called myself a journalist with a camera. Now, I shot film up until my later days. I'm retired now, but I had the best. I went out and when I was young and bought Hasselblads and learned how to use the best cameras out there. And so it made it possible for a bozo like me to put stuff on the paper that you see now. Well,
you're not a bozo, and I can tell you, I can tell you that you're a very talented guy, and to be able to put together this, because I mean, that's a lot of pages, man, that you've got, and almost every page that I looked at anyway has got at least one, if not multiple photographs on it.
Well, each page has a different layout too. I mean, it's got either some oblique pictures, it's got close-ups, it's got the stats, it's got the spec sheets. So each page is different for each vehicle.
Yeah,
it's really neat.
It's very impressive. Now, do you have any other books besides Corvette that you have out?
Well, let's see. I've lost count. I always say now that I've done about 50 books, but a lot of those are reissues and repackages and putting books together. But right now, as soon as I get off with you today, my next deadline is I also do the complete book of Mustang. And it's the same format as this, same style and everything. And I've got an update for it that's due here in a couple months. So we'll be doing the same thing. And it's like I tell my friends at GM, I've got to put on different hat, and I've got to write about a car of which we will not speak.
Well, I totally understand that. We just got off the line just a little while ago with the guy from Shelby American,
Mr. Patterson.
And a fascinating interview. He was up at Carlisle in Pennsylvania with a display up there, and a great guy. And I can only imagine the stories that are in the Mustang book.
Oh my God! Well, same thing. And I've written about Well, I used to work for Dobbs Publishing, who originated Mustang Monthly magazine back in 79 or so.
Right.
And I think that's still on the web. I tell you what, I've lost track of what's out there nowadays, what actual printed magazines and web magazines. Again, I'm retired, and I spend more time working on the house here drinking beer than anything else. So,
you found something useful to do.
Yeah. Well,
I could tell you some stories back in the day in my travels doing these books with a lot of beer under the bridge. I'll tell you what.
Well, I will tell you that as I was thumbing through the book before we went on the air today, I ran across a picture of Zora Arkus Duntov, the so-called godfather of the Corvette. I was very fortunate with my Corvette club at the time. This is back about 79 or so. We went to a show, and I believe it was in Oklahoma City, where he was making an appearance. And so I had a chance to sit down and talk with him about the split window and all of the things that made him who he was. And what a great guy, and easy to talk to, no ego whatsoever that I saw, and just a car guy through and through. I saw the picture in there of him, and I've got a picture that we're actually looking at an opposite wall over here.
You can't see it, but it's up front.
And it was about that same period of time when you had this picture published in the Corvette book. And I just, there are so many great stories in the automotive world that have yet to be really told, and there seems to be a renewed interest. I think that Ford versus Ferrari was such a great movie that many people saw that really excited them about the sport of racing and the challenges between Ford and Ferrari at the time. And I just, there are those two with the Corvette and with the Shelby Mustang. And it all kind of goes together, and us car freaks, if you want to call it that, love to read and see all of this stuff. And you've done a great job on this book.
Well, thanks again. And what you just said, too, is that, these aren't just cars. These are cars designed and built by men and women, people. And so many of these cars have the builders in them. And, of course, Corvette is a prime example. And Zora was, just like you say, an awesome example of a true car guy. And so many of the other Corvette names. I mean, you don't get to be Corvette chief engineer without loving the car and loving the job and all of that. And all of those Corvette engineers have been. Now, obviously, some are a little more headstrong than others, but I've enjoyed just listening to them all. And like you, I got to spend some time with Zora back in the day, and there's a photo on page 11 of him and me at the grand opening of the Corvette Museum, and I'm holding two drinks.
Yes.
And they're not mine. Those aren't mine. Those were his.
That's this page right.
Holding them for him.
Yeah, it's this page right here.
That was a glorious night in September of 1994, and anybody who was anybody in the Corvette world was there, plus me. So, they invited me, and I got to go, and it was just an awesome night. And again, I didn't wake up until about 2:00 the next afternoon, I think, after that one.
Well, double fisting there with Zora, I can only imagine.
He loved his martinis, let's put it that way.
Uh-oh.
I can relate to that. Yes, most definitely. And he's right up there at the front of the book under acknowledgments. And, there's also a picture across the way from that with the Corvette convertible and the Shelby Cobra.
Yes.
That it's just so iconic. And it's also inclusive. I'm impressed by that because, a lot of guys just look at one particular model, or they'll just kind of highlight the different models, but you go into detail on all of the years of the Corvette.
Yes. By the way, that photo you're talking about with the Cobra and the 63 Stingray, that's my mom in the Corvette, and the man driving the Cobra is Ray Quinlan. They're both gone now, but Ray was a noted collector. When the Corvette Museum Foundation first got up and running, Ray donated his 53 Corvette to the collection. It was the first car donated to go into the museum. It was an unrestored 53. And Ray was there in that night at the Corvette Museum grand opening, and he was just beaming, like everybody else.
Of course.
And actually, Ray is one of the guys who got me going in this. When I was a youngster in college, he hooked me up with the local Corvette guys, and he's kind of the one who pointed me in this direction.
Well,
but that was a great day. We took that shot up in Champaign, Illinois. I just thought, what a great shot that would be. And that's Ray's Cobra, too, and that was an unrestored Cobra, by the way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I got to drive that car. Well, I got to drive both cars, but...
You're a lucky man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mike,
I'm
a very talented guy.
Mike, one thing, I was looking here at the know-it-all place called Amazon, and the book goes out on June the 10th. But you can order it now and get it by Father's Day, and you can get it a little bit cheaper, actually.
There you go. We'll have him back on when he does a Buick book.
Yeah, Buick book, yeah. Jeff's a Buick guy. Okay, well, Mike, we're out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a fascinating interview and a wonderful book, The Complete Book of Corvette. Mike Mueller is the guy's name. And thanks again, Mike. And you take care and stay in touch with us here.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right, just ahead, Jeff's Car Culture and Mars' new feature, Driving Destinations.
Right.
The N-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues in a flash.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flameado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the NWell Time Car Talk Show.
By the way, NWell Time hits the road again. Our next stop is in Granbury next weekend for the Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run. Join our live broadcast on June 14th from 9 to noon, an extra hour. Right. And thanks for being with us today here on the NWell Time Car Talk Show. Now, Jeff's car culture and racing superstitions from red underwear to baloney.
That's full of baloney. But confidence is essential to succeed in motor racing, whether it's on 2 wheels or 4 wheels. Even people who claim they don't really believe in superstitions have admitted that certain pre-race rituals can calm the jitters. Now, our first one here is Talladega. How about that? Rumored to be built on a Native American burial ground, which isn't really true, the track nevertheless has a spooky aura. It's the largest, fastest superspeedway of NASCAR's calendar, and consequently the site of some horrific crashes. It was on the track in 1970 when Bobby Isaac, one of the most haunted NASCAR drivers ever, stopped in the middle of a 1973 race, got out of his car, and quit. Why? A voice told him to do that. Earlier in the race, a rookie, Larry Smith, had died of a massive head injury in a solo crash, but it was not reported that the individual died. So he was told that and quit the race just by parking his car. So that's one of the superstitions. The next one we have is the color green. Some are pretty solid colors based on green can become unlucky early on. Arguably, the first occurrence in 1911 when the driver, Lee Oldfield, no relation to Barney, crashed in the stands at Syracuse, New York, killing 11 spectators in a green car. Oldfield was thrown clear and went on to design the first rear-engine cars for the Indianapolis 500. Another year, the death of Gadsden Chevrolet, yes, the family of Chevrolets, killed on a boardwalk in Beverly Hills, California in 1920 in a green car. So that's part of the mystique of being unlucky. The next one is eating specific foods. Eating the same thing before every race isn't unusual. The two-time Daytona winner, Sterling Marlin, ate a bologna sandwich before each of the races that he won. Some late model racers, and for some reason it's only late model racers, have a thing about chicken bones around a race car. Sometimes it's what you don't eat is the important. Legendary sprint car racer Galen Fox and his son ate McDonald's right before a race. They went out and tore up all their equipment and lost. Never eating at McDonald's before a race again. The next one is a lucky helmet. Every driver who has won a race has a lucky helmet. The one when they won the race is the best. The best known example is Alberto Ascari, a two-time world champion. Hey, forget about it. With his favorite blue helmet, which wouldn't allow anybody else to touch it or handle the helmet. And he made an exception after his crash in Monaco in 1955 when the helmet was damaged. He had it repaired and had it repainted blue and decided that he's going to use it. Well, in the time that the helmet was in the shop, he went to Monza and was killed. He was in a test crash and was wearing his friend's white helmet. So that's an unlucky thing there. And lastly, the number 13. We know these. The number 13 is considered unlucky practically everywhere, but the superstition has some interesting consequences in the world of racing. NASCAR numbers, they pit so that no crew member or no crew or race team gets stuck working in the number 13 spot. Championship driver Joe Weatherly once qualified 13th for a race, but NASCAR allowed him to use the starting position of 12A instead of the 13. And Formula F1 driver Michael Schumacher established a presence for odd numbers, but 13 wasn't among them.
Weird.
Yeah. How about that?
That's a great story there.
Unlucky numbers.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Time now for Mr. Mars' new feature called Driving Destinations. And today, Twisted Sisters. You ever heard of that? I have.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the great drives. Now, we're talking about family things, so we got to get a lot of family stuff in here. So when you go out in that part of the Texas Hill Country, there's some things that the family can do. There's Garner State Park. Now, this is in Concan. In the Hill Country, 1,700 acres, 2.9 miles of Frio River that you can float on and fish and do all kinds of water
When
things.
there's water in it.
Can you float and fish at the same time?
Yeah, if you can. 16 miles of trails, and including a 500-foot ascent. So there's lots to do there. Or you can go over to the Hill Country State Natural Area, and you can do 40 miles of trails for hiking, biking, horseback riding. And you can bring your own horses. You can rent horses. Got lots of things for the family to do in that area. Then you've got the Cave with No Name. Now, this is near Bernie, or if you're north
Is that any relationship to a horse with no name?
It is. Yeah. If you're north of Waco, it's actually, you look on the map for Bourne, but everybody else will know it's Bernie. It's a limestone cave. And it was given the name back in the 20s, when it was open to the public in 1939. It was considered too beautiful to have a name, so they did not give it a name. So it's all kinds of little family things to do there, but if you need to make a run to the grocery store while the family's busy doing things and you want to make a little 100-mile round trip of the Twisted Sisters, now this is a loop through the Hill Country that goes around, beginning in Medina, goes up through Lakey, goes through lots of things.
That's an interesting look there.
Am I jump ahead?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Whatever. Continue on, please.
So if you get up there, there's one stretch of this 100-mile loop, a 15-mile stretch. It's got 65 curves in it. Now, a lot of this is motorcycles on the weekend, so if you're going in the car, in the family car, and you want to make this run, you kind of better during the week. But you got to be careful. It's got drop-offs. There's limited guardrails. There's deer come across. There's livestock. There's lots of things that kind of wander out onto this roadway that you're going to be flying around and having lots of fun as a driving experience after you've been out with the family for a few hours and days. Go out to the Twisted Sisters. Are we hung up? Yeah.
No, that's the next shot.
Oh. Roll on, Jeff.
Okay.
I thought you was going to let it roll. Either way. So that's the Hill Country Natural State Area. Just let it roll on.
Okay, gotcha.
Whose house is that?
That's a cabin that you can rent out there if you don't want to live in a tent.
Airbnb.
Were you going to tell us about that or no?
No, I think
I was trying to watch the clock. This is the Cave with No Name.
Why? You never do anyway.
I'm trying to get better.
Okay.
So this is actually the Twisted Sisters portion that goes around there, and that's part of what it looks like if you can imagine going down through there at about 140.
Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that. It's beautiful.
No, I'm not doing
beautiful.
140 on that.
It's a beautiful area. Well, that's why you don't want to go on the weekend when the motorcycles are out there.
Well, they're going fast probably, but not at 140. There's the Lone Star Motorcycle Museum.
There you go. 14
And
kilometer.
there's,
Boy,
well, that's good. There's a great picture to have in there.
Yeah. So that you know that it can be dangerous. It's kind of like that race over in England on that Isle of Man. Yeah. That's
Isle of Man.
I'd love to go see that. I don't think I would ever have the guts to be in it, but I would love to go see it.
Well, I've been posting things about mainly in the old country, Great Britain, where they have buggies and old little cars that the kids drive.
Makes you homesick?
No. Where they start up at the top of the hill and grown men try to ride the car all the way down there without being thrown off. And that never works, but it's absolutely hysterical. Yes, I'll have to share those with you next time I run across one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I post them on my Facebook page, so people know.
There you go.
Maybe we could go there and do that.
You know, it would probably be a lot less expensive than doing what we do.
Yeah.
And
what do we do?
Yeah.
Explain me.
Well, we kill time.
All right, there you go.
We got that. All right. That's it for this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We've got more just ahead. We invite you to stay with us.
Please do.
Right after these brief messages.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
From the Sugar Shack Studios in Texas, USA, it is the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we have a new feature, our story of the week. This week's story is weird. Ran across it. We're going to talk about it. Outsourcing engines.
I thought we were going to do yours.
Just a minute. This is the tease, Jeff. You're
okay.
jumping ahead like you normally do.
I need to be informed.
You are. Mm-hmm. You're being informed right now. So we're going to talk about outsourcing engines. Have you heard this story?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about it. We're also going to do the Guess the Sold Car Price. We're going to have recalls for you coming up. Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars, and I'll bring you stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin to jump ahead.
And inform me.
And the uninformed Jeff Zekin. David Ainsley is sleeping in, getting rested up for the big remote broadcast next weekend in Granbury. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday. Now, first off, what's wrong?
We're okay.
I was looking at the itinerary for the story of the week and did not see that.
You didn't?
No.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you've got there. Some old thing, decrepit thing that
1948 is what you have.
You see, I remember saying something to you about you needed to change your rundown and include that on here.
Yes.
Story of the week there.
Yeah. You're right. But it doesn't say what the story of the week is.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Surprise.
It is a surprise.
Surprise.
You don't need to know. You just hang tight.
Are you just as surprised as Mike and I? Because we're surprised.
So here's
everything's going on, and we are surprised.
I didn't tell them the whole
truth and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
He didn't raise his right
So let's
hand.
start off with the Sold Car Roundup. I know that Jeff Heitzman is joining us, and he always likes to chime in on these sorts of things. And if you'd like to chime in, you're more than welcome to join us as well. info@inwheeltime.com.
Get your chimer out.
Yeah. And so this is our first auction car that was sold on Hemmings.com. And so we're going to ask the boys what they thought this car sold for. Now, this is a 1951 Studebaker Commander. My brother, I don't know how he acquired the car. I don't know whether it was his mom's car or whatever, but he had one of these things. And last time I saw him alive, obviously, I asked him, I said, whatever happened to that car? He says, I got rear-ended, and the back bumper of the car was pushed all the way to the back of the front seat. That's how bad it wrecked. Anyway, so this is an all-original, completely restored 1951 ugly Studebaker Commander.
30.
It's at
32,000. 32. I'm going right for it. I'm taking it all. 32.
It looks like it rolled out of the showroom is what it does.
It's got bias tires on it.
Ugly green.
It's got the vent, air conditioning vent on the side.
I'll go 24, and Mr. Heitzman says 19.
This car sold for $31,500.
Oh.
Way to go, Jeffy.
Got it.
$31,500.
I'd tub it out.
Yeah. I mean, And the interesting thing about this thing, it's got that middle eyeball up there in the front. That
Ford had
actually,
one of those.
Yes, it actually turned when you turn the steering wheel. And if you look at the car, it's not in this picture, but if you look at the car from the side, the back window is a wraparound.
Yeah.
And which makes the car even uglier, but that was what kind of sold the car, I guess.
Yeah.
My aunt still had a Ford that had that in the front.
And if
Very
you remember
Tuckerish.
correctly, that was also the Tucker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's go to number 2. This is a 1960 convertible Pontiac Catalina. Fully restored, big wide whites on it. It looks beautiful. You could never fit that in 2 garages. It's so
No.
huge. But it's a 2-door convertible, 1960 Pontiac Catalina. How much?
41.
Jeff says 41. Mars?
I'm going to go 30.
30. Did Mr. Heitzman join us?
Well, he hasn't chimed in yet, or neither's George.
Okay, so
Heitzman says 31.
31. Well, it's sold for, y'all are close, $35,999.
I'll split it with you, Jeffrey.
Okay. Next up, this is the C5 Corvette convertible, a 1998 model.
It's a C5.
That's a C5 that's just like my car, except this is a convertible version of it, okay? It's very clean. Yes, that's a factory option. Mine had that on there, and I took it off. The door guards. How much did that car sell for?
Didn't give you the mileage.
I didn't look up the mileage. I don't want to get into all that, but
Well, that's
it's
a big
very
deal on the price of
Okay.
it. I mean, that can make $10,000 difference, unfortunately.
no, not in a C5. No.
If it's worth
You
it.
have to trust me. You have to trust me on this.
Mike, I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna go for 22.
I was thinking 21.
George says 37.5. Heitzman says 40.
15,488.
Yeah.
That's the reason that I picked it out, because even though my car, when I bought it, it had 16,000 miles on it. And this is in 2017. Okay, it only had 16,000 miles on it. I bought my car for $16,000.
Yeah, but your car today, if you had that Corvette today with 16,000 miles on it, it's going to be
But it's got
28 to 30,000.
all right, well, it's got 35,000 miles on it now.
Still be
today.
over 20.
Okay.
I mean,
if you say so.
I'm looking at what Emmons and all these other guys are priced them for.
Okay. Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yes, you
Next
should.
up is a 1996 Chevrolet Camaro.
But that was convertible, though.
That was a
It
convertible.
was a convertible.
This is a 1996 Chevy Camaro Z28. It's got 18,000 original miles on it. How much do you think that
on that one?
Yeah.
How much do you think that car sold for?
It looks
I
like
said
it's
it's got 18,000 miles on
Looks
it.
like it's got T-tops.
Probably so.
Yeah, it probably leak.
I'm not a fan of that car.
I'm not either.
I'll go 18.
I'm going to go 15.
George says 1066. Jeff says 29,000. And Mr. DeLusk, DT Lusk 24. I'm not sure who that is yet, but he says 26.
Okay, well, George wins. It sold for $11,550. Now, at 18,000 miles, granted, it's an old car.
That could be George's car.
The deal is with that is, wouldn't you like to have your kid driving around in that? Doesn't have that much horsepower.
No, it
It's a
doesn't.
1996 Chevy Camaro Z28 with 18,000 miles. It sold for $11,550. Next up, 2008 Ford Mustang.
Oh, boy.
2008 Ford Mustang.
Convertible?
And this is a convertible.
got
And
the-
it looks like it's a GT.
Yep.
And what do you think that sold for?
4.6 liter V8. It's got the roll bar. It's got the wing on the back. It's got the rally headlights.
Well, it's a GT.
Yeah.
It's a convertible, so.
I'm going to go 34.
Wow. Okay. Bars?
I'm going to go like 28. That's what I would say.
Okay.
George says 23. Jeff says 22.
15,225.
Well, I bought two of them.
We had one came in late at 13K.
Well, there you go. We'll give that one the winner.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one
That's
there
the
would-
winner.
That would be the winner. All right. And the last one
Oh, beautiful.
is a 1964 Dodge Dart convertible. And that is screaming yellow. chicken yellow, whatever you want to call it. It's yellow. And those are not stock wheels on it because I remember Dodge Darts didn't have that.
Yeah, it's a nice
How much?
tires.
It's probably got a 6-cylinder in it, I would guess. Mm-hmm. How much do you think that would sell
Have a
for?
318.
I'm going to go $9,000.
Really?
Yeah, even though it's a ragtop.
No, I'm going to, because it's a rag top, I'll pump it out to 15.
I'm going to go 9.
On Hemmings,
George wants to know if you
.com.
take green stamps. 24.3. Jeff says 14. I got to find out who this.
1964 Dodge Dart sold for $9,500.
Oh, George came in late at 8,000.
What did I
George
do? I
slipped in
said
under the
9.
wire,
I
yeah.
said 9. Come
Now,
on.
That would be a perfect car for the Hot Rod Tour.
Oh,
Texas
absolutely.
Right there.
Yep, absolutely.
Cheap in. That's
And
the
it's
time of
convertible. If
that's
the weather's good,
Yep.
you can drop the top.
Absolutely.
You can go around topless
I'd-
and nobody will say
I'd
anything.
be all over that. Well, that was fun. Mm-hmm. What do you say that we do some recalls here?
Okay.
Can we say Ford Motor Company? Say it.
We
Ford.
can't say Ford Motor Company.
Recalling 556,043 vehicles. 2 problems. One is a detachment of the B-pillar trim. The second is 63,000 pickups because of loose or dislodged passenger airbag. Disabled indicators. Ford F-150 Lightning. The electric vehicle, battery electric, loss of steering from the front control arm separation. Ford Transit 2022 to 2023 instrument panel not illuminated. Ford F-150 and F-150 Lightning battery electric again 22 to 23 and 25 deactivated electronic stability control. Ford Bronco 21 to 22 rearview camera malfunction. That's being recalled. Loss of steering from front control arm separation in the Bronco and Ranger for 24 and 25. And oh no, I'm not done. 21 to some of them to 25, not all. Bronco, Edge, Escape, Expedition, F-150, 250, 350, 450, 550, 600. Mustang, Mustang Mach-E, Ranger, Transit, Corsair from Lincoln, Nautilus, Navigator being recalled. Rear view camera image may not display. And seatbelt warning system malfunction on the Lincoln Aviator and Corsair 2020 to 2023.
Wow. It's a lot.
Ford, I'm not even going to go to the rest of them. It's very disappointing. And I like Fords, but they need to get their act together. I'm sorry. It's going to kill them. Mm-hmm. And it's killing them financially. You know, recalls are not cheap.
No.
No, they're not, particularly if it's for some.
And it's just
spend $100 to fix a little
it's
$5
bad
item.
PR.
Yes.
Yeah, well, as you know, they build in a recall in the price. So that happens.
Yeah, I'm just not. It's not my thing. Okay, so now let's move on to the story of the week. And I'm going to read this, and you guys will have your own opinion. There's no need to do research on this.
I'm going to write it down.
Okay. Combustion engines will no longer be brand differentiators and will increasingly be sourced from suppliers as automakers look to stay competitive against low-cost Chinese rivals, according to Ford Vice Chair John Lawler. John, you may be the problem, sir, but that's another story for
We're going to recall
day.
John.
Automakers have long marketed their cars on the appeal of their in-house combustion engines, right?
Right.
Ford,
Got a Hemi
Chevy,
in that thing.
Chrysler, all those guys. Got to have a Hemi, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that gives them unique tailgate badging to highlight attributes such as turbocharging or direct injection. Those days are disappearing, according to Mr. Lawler. He says, I don't think that consumers really think about powertrains the way that they did 30 years ago, and I tend to agree with him. He said this to an audience at Bernstein Strategic Decisions Conference, whatever that is. The shift to hybridization, hybrids, has removed many of the unique characteristics of combustion engines because electric motors are now used to increase power and reduce CO2 emissions instead. He says, where combustion engines defined what a vehicle was, the horsepower, the displacement, the torque, and everything about the vehicle, I think a lot of that is gone, and I tend to agree with him. With automakers no longer relying on combustion engines for brand differentiation, This could free up brands such as Ford to save money by partnering with other companies to develop the next generation ICE engines. Your thoughts?
Mine is, if you don't mind,
Go
is
ahead.
the skateboard effect with electrics. It's the same principle, my opinion of that.
Well, yes.
You got a platform, everybody uses the platform, and that started out in electrics, and then hybrids. Now it's going to be ICE. So it's probably just an evolution that needed to come.
Look at the Indy cars.
Yeah.
Push to pass button.
Yeah.
That's from
Hybrid.
an electric.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
Yeah.
And do they tell you what kind of motor that they're using?
No.
No.
But same thing in Formula One, too. They have
However,
that.
my take on it is this is a marketing person's gold mine. So you name whatever you want that electric motor as the, the golden boy from Ford, whatever you want to call it something, right? And market that electric motor as this car has that electric motor as a booster, just like the push to pass button on an Indy car.
But I think what he's talking about, back to what Jeff just said, the skateboard effect, that if everybody's got the same motor, like NASCAR or whoever.
Yeah.
So the marketing that people are doing today because of their hybrids or their Hemis or their Corvettes, their performance vehicles, that's a different segment and it's a different market. And I think they're going to lose that because now you got the same powertrain and everything. So what are you going to sell to differentiate your Chevrolet from Ford?
Well, I'm using the Hemi from Dodge, from Chrysler.
Okay.
Okay.
Good example.
Because let's face it, the moron that really put a torpedo to the entire brand when they said, we're not going to build any ICE engines. We're going to make it all electric. And threw away the one thing that they had marketed for decades about the Hemi, the horsepower, all of the cars that were under that
The
high
lifestyle,
all of
everything
it.
that goes with it.
They threw it out the window.
Right.
And what happened?
That's what I'm
But,
saying.
well,
so if everybody goes to the same powertrain, like this guy is proposing, then
Well, no. It's not the same powertrain. They're just going to sub out the powertrain to a supplier,
right. But
like a door handle.
right. So you got XYB Motors is selling motors to all the car manufacturers, just like they do starter motors or anything
Perhaps.
else. And so if everybody's got the same powertrain, that's what I'm saying. How are you going to differentiate your vehicle?
Because it's all going to be about body, the body style,
Trim levels,
trim levels, the interior.
capacity,
You say
weight.
that, go look at the small compact SUVs that are out there now. How many of them have same lines because they're all
All right,
mimicking each
then
other?
I'm going to go back to the car that I reviewed, and that's the Buick Envista. That is one hot little vehicle in my estimation. How well it will sell is yet to be seen because it's a new vehicle. But I'm telling you, I think that the price is right on that. Doesn't make any difference, really, what's underneath the hood. 'Cause
Right.
You're not buying it for that.
That's right. But to that segment of the market, the buyers are there. Now, the segment that wants the 427s and the 426s and the performance vehicles, whether they want to put it in their museum and drive it on Sunday or they want to take it to the track, you're going to lose all of that.
How is the warranty going to take place? So you buy a General Motors car, you got a Ford car, but they've got the equal comparable parts.
the-
Who does the warranty on it? Is it going back to the manufacturer? How do they warranty that? And I'm supposed to get 28 miles to the gallon on it, but I'm not getting that. And then, but the other car has got the same product. It's got a 32 miles a gallon. How are they going to be
Or
equal out there?
go back to the Takata airbag.
Right.
Same company builds it for everybody.
Everybody.
Now, if something goes bad, now everybody goes bad.
Well, same thing with the vendors in a race.
All of those Fords that I just told
Yeah.
you about that are being recalled.
Yeah, now it's going to be Chrysler and Chevrolet, and
That's
and
true.
Exactly.
they'll all fall into that same boat, just like Takata. I'm just saying that wouldn't be what I would want to do.
Food for thought. More later. Coming up, Jeff has the cruise in and events calendars,
Maybe.
and I'll have the stories making headlines this week. Stay with us here on the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We continue after this break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the NWell Time Car Talk Show.
Lone Star Street Rod Association State Run.
When is that?
50th anniversary is our next remote broadcast gathering. It's going to be in Granbury, Texas, next Saturday, 9 to noon. We will be on the air live with our show, June 14th, right here on your favorite streaming and podcast source. Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us today here on In Wheel Time. Time now for the Cruise In and Events calendars.
Surely.
That's many events calendars.
Many events.
Yeah, many events.
There's a lot of events. Okay.
I know, it's that time of year.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a whole bunch out there. And it's hard to pick and choose which ones you want to kind of help people understand and send them to in their direction. But if you're into the car world, you'll know where to go and you'll know which ones are your favorites. So you got Gears and Grounds. That is today. It's at 13150 Brenton Ridge Street here in Houston. They got exotics, race cars, imports, trucks, lowered, lifted, all that good stuff. So that's going on there on Ridge Street in Houston. You got the 3rd annual Corvette Explosion Car Show going on today, Don. And they're not exploding them. They're just explosion of abundance is what it is. That's going on until 1 o'clock. That's at 420 Wolf Ranch Parkway in Georgetown, Texas. Nice drive to go out there, a little bit north of Austin. You got the Bernies all out there as well. Cars and Coffee hosted by Fearless Performance. That is tomorrow. That's at 1027 I-45 South in Huntsville, Texas. Enthusiasts can enjoy coffee from Blue Willow Coffee. There's a lot of shops out there. There's a lot of walking around and visiting with folks. Chance to talk car community and all that good stuff. Now, I've been following, we all follow Bobby Sparkman, Hot Rod Tour, and he posts a lot of stuff. And there's a Kolaches in Hallettsville, and there's a car show coming up, and I think he posted September.
The name of the place is called Kolaches?
It's a Kolaches in Hallettsville. It's a run. It's a spot to do a car show. So that's coming up, and I believe
that's down in the valley, isn't it?
Yeah, there's I believe it's in September, but I'll have to double check with Bobby. And then next weekend, the 21st, actually at NRG, there's a semi-truck show going on at NRG. They got the big tractors in there and stuff. You got parts. They've got all kinds of glitz and glam. They got semi-truck celebrities. I don't know who they would be. You know, could be the Hulk.
Mac.
It could be, hey, brother. He could be out there.
Do they still make Macs?
Yeah, probably. Max, Peterbilt, I'm sure.
Bulldog
Freightliner.
Mac?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Still make that?
I'm trying to remember the last time I saw one.
But if you're into the big stuff and you're a trucker, and I'm sure we've got truckers that listen, there's a truck show going on June 21st at NRG. So
that would be interesting.
It would be. It'd be cool.
What if you could drive one of those things?
Well, you'd have to probably learn how to drive one first of all.
Well, yeah. I mean, I could drive it, but I don't know how to shift the gears.
I was a little kid, 3, 4, 5 years old. There was a gentleman, a family lived across the street. He was a retired couple at the time. They're Bartrams, the Bartram family. And he was a trucker. He would bring his tractor home, back it up into the drive, close it off back in the day. And he would occasionally take me for a ride around the block. And
cool.
That was the coolest thing as a little kid, being a big semi-truck. It was a cab over, back in the day. But, yeah, check it out. I found that on the website.
Federal judge in Chicago refused to dismiss a $216 million lawsuit accusing a former dealership group vice president of deceptive and unfair business practices, including bait-and-switch sales tactics, deceiving customers about add-ons and falsely advertising the availability of vehicles. Imagine that. FTC and the Illinois Attorney General's office already settled with James Duvis's former employer, Auto Canada, which does business as Leader Automotive Group, and whose website lists 18 stores in the Chicago area and around Illinois. The December 2024 settlement with Auto Canada and its corporate affiliates did not cover Duvis. It included $20 million to compensate customers and a permanent injunction against future violations. Duvis's lawyer, Mark LaFleur, said he does not comment on pending litigation. Of course not. Duvis was fired in September of 23, 1 year into the federal and state investigation, according to the May 8th decision by District Judge Jorge Alonso.
Oh, man.
Great story.
Bait
Chicago
and switch.
Lederhosen, $10 million.
Lederhosen. Yeah. Florida Porsche dealership co-owner resigned from his managerial roles at the store after allegedly sending an anti-Semitic text to a potential customer.
Great.
Really? Naveen Mirage, a co-owner of Champion Porsche in Pompano Beach, Florida, sent a text message calling a Jewish man, John Wolf, an expletive phrase, according to a letter sent by Wolf's lawyer to Michael Peters, general manager of Champion Porsche, that was shared with Automotive News. As co-owner, Mirage had several managerial and occupational roles at Champion. Mirage resigned and stepped down from those roles after the incident. Champion Porsche said in a statement on its social media accounts, "It's unclear if Mr. Mirage will maintain his partial ownership of the dealership." You think?
Yes, yeah.
Jeez.
We're calling him a name as he leaves.
Yeah. Interest in electric vehicles has sunk to its lowest level since 2019, according to a consumer survey commissioned by AAA. Only 16% of respondents reported being likely or very likely to purchase an electric vehicle as their next car.
So 16 EV owners, 16% of the EV owners said they might buy another one.
The percentage of customers who indicated they would be unlikely or very unlikely to purchase an EV as their next vehicle rose to 63% from 51%, the highest since 2022. Respondents, 62%, cited high battery repair costs as a main reason for not going fully electric. That's the main reason. Concern about purchase price was cited by 59%. And in March, the average transaction price for a new EV was $59,205, significantly higher than that of the overall average transaction price, which right now is at $50,000.
Right.
Other top concerns customers expressed in this year's survey were battery-related, including a lack of convenient public charging stations, 56%, in fear of running out of a charge while driving, 55%, and 57% voiced concern about perceived unsuitability of EVs for long-distance travel. Because it's a total pain.
Yes, the EV that I am currently driving and not here has a total range, I think, of 220-something miles. And it's what we would used to call...
What is it?
I'm saving it. We used to call those kind of cars a gas hog. When I got it, it was 80%. It's now down to 40%, and I drove it 40 miles. That's all I've driven it
So you're not going to tell us what it is?
Not yet.
Why?
I'm saving it for
Save
next
the
week.
review.
Okay. So it's next week's car review?
Yes.
I can't wait to find out.
Do we need to send a
wrecker.
Flatbed?
Yeah.
Go get you.
If I'd have drove it over here, you wouldn't have.
We're
Crazy.
going to finish up today's show right after this.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us.
Well, that's all for this week's In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Be sure and check us out online at InWheelTime.com. We're always looking for new, informative, and fun automotive things.
Absolutely.
If you have an idea or an event or a road trip destination you'd like us to have a feature on, let us know. Our email address is info@InWheelTime.com. When you're looking for award-winning car talk, you can find the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show 24/7 on the In Wheel Time app. When you're on the road, grab a podcast anytime from your favorite provider, including the new SiriusXM podcast channel, and be sure and catch us on the Odyssey radio app. We video stream our live show every Saturday, 10 to noon on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Next week, we're going to start an hour early, 9 o'clock. The In Wheel Time video technical director is We Always Need More Jeff Zekin, the booking agent, video editor, people finder, and do-it-all, Mike Out of This World Mars, and chief engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Join us next week from Granbury, Texas, in the Lone Star Street Rod Association's 50th anniversary with their famous state run. We start an hour early for our 3-hour show beginning at 9 a.m. next Saturday morning. Be safe out there, have a great week, and thanks again for following the award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.